Yamncane uJoyce. Bakhulu futhi. Ngimethile. Hlasile. Kodwa uJoyce uyancane mina. Uma mina noJoyce. Sohlukene ngefeed.
Yama two. So
Y'all getting a rare unscripted video because I did not plan to come talk to y'all about The Polygamist because I didn't plan to watch it, okay? Literally, I was looking for something to watch and I say, you know what? Everybody keep talking about this show. Let me put on one episode. Me and CJ could watch this one little episode while I go eat my lunch and then I can go carry on about my day. I need y'all to understand. I was parked in front of my TV from must be 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 4 in the morning when that show finished, okay? Let me make y'all understand. When I tell y'all this show was so good, I mean they did not waste 1 minute of screen time, okay? They did not come to play. Every minute of every episode, they was getting to it, okay? Cracking drama upon drama upon drama that building on everything you see. Nothing you think you saw in this show was by accident. Absolutely nothing forgotten. No plot holes to be found. Damn was just moving. Like when I tell you, I could not turn it off. I had a whole day full of things planned to do, but every single episode I was like, and when I tell you we wasn't even considering it, it was me, CJ, and my sister-in-law creased up, could not come from in front of the TV. Listen, when I tell y'all, look out, get ready for the spoilers because we just finna walk through all the events of The Polygamist because there's no commentary I could give you that's as valuable or as wild as what the was going down in the show. So we just finna run through the whole thing right now. Run the theme song, Aaron.
Black independent, strongest in women. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay now. I know that I'm worth it, so make sure to listen. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay.
First of all, The Polygamist is a South African show on Netflix. And let me tell y'all, from this moment forward, look y'all, I feel exactly what I felt the time I went by my Uncle Bakula house. This was a few years ago. Don't think this from my childhood. Okay, this is like 2022. I went to go hang out with my Uncle Bakula and my daddy, and they was sitting down watching one Nigerian movie on YouTube that was must-see 6 hours long. And I sit there and say, ain't no way I watching no 6-hour movie. Yeah, I only come here to watch a couple little minutes, hail my uncle and go. Not only did I stay till that whole movie finished, I follow all the actors in it, okay? I got random Nigerian actors I just follow. They make me a believer. The way, look yo, the way this African TV is be getting to it, and I thought it was just the Nigerians. I find out through this show right here, the South Africans ain't coming to play. I ain't glad y'all, no exaggeration. The Polygamist was so good. It had me sitting there like, Americans just ain't doing it like this. I'm sorry. American TV just is not doing it like this. I cannot think of a single show that I watched, okay? A single piece of American media. First of all, you ain't getting no American media with 22 episodes in a season no more anyhow, unless you're watching Beyond the Gates, all right? But you ain't getting no American media where 22 episodes back to back. Fire. Look here, even if you get an American TV show that's a limited series that's amazing from start to finish with the 1 season they got, they managed to do it in like 5 episodes, 6 episodes, 8 episodes, maybe 10, but you will never catch them eating up 22 episodes back to back. But the Polygamists did. The South Africans did. They delivered. And I need y'all to understand, this wasn't just heat. Like, it ain't just heat because it's saucy. It ain't just heat because it's drama. And like, oh, we just like drama. And so we overlooking some bad acting. And no. It was acting they ass off. They come and bring the drama and they was acting down, okay? Now, let me tell you all about the show. It starts off following our protagonist, Joyce. We immediately learn that Joyce is married to a man named Jonas. Okay, Jonasi, evil. Okay, y'all, let me evil. Think about whichever is the most trifling ass you know, pitch him in your mind. And this works. I telling you, Joe Nasty. So, listen, Joe Nass is just spent all his time trying to figure out how to upset the people. So on your look, right? We meet Joyce. Joyce is an influencer, a big brand deal she had with some company named Ivory Oasis is dependent upon her appearance to continue to be in the perfect marriage, right? So they asking her all about her marriage. Her marriage is about to hit 20 years. But what we quickly find out is even though to the public, they getting ready to celebrate their perfect 20th wedding anniversary, in reality, Joe Nass ain't even in the house. He done leave from a year prior. He ran the place a woman named Matipa. Now, let me tell y'all about Matipa, cause boy, this a bitch I did hate. The full come around to Matipa. Listen, Matipa ain't just a side bitch. Matipa is the side bitch from hell, okay? Cause Matipa is a bitch who plot on your. She plot on your. She gets your. And she want to take your. It ain't good enough to have him. No. It ain't good enough for her to plot on your to grind your to get your money. She want to take your from you. So,
hold up, wait a minute.
But before we go any further, let me tell you about this video's sponsor. Because who better to sponsor this video than Beducated? Now, unlike many of the characters we talk about on this channel, we have good sense. And a part of having good sense is understanding that sex is a skill, and Beducated is where you learn it. I actually really appreciate that Beducated treats intimacy like something you can learn and get better at, instead of something you're magically supposed to already know. Because nobody expects you to sit down at a piano and immediately know how to play it. So why do we expect people to automatically know everything there is to know about sex and intimacy? Beducated offers more than 150 expert-led courses on everything from G-spot orgasms to all kind of oral techniques. And these courses aren't just backed by experts. They're taught by experts. It's educational, but it's not boring. Beducated has a huge variety of courses covering everything from self-pleasure to couples intimacy to kink and so much more all in one place. Plus, they include video tutorials, practical exercises, and reliable information to help you build confidence and learn new skills. Now, I am not trying to be all up in your personal business and y'all need not be in mine. Just know that Beducated is here to make sure your sex life has all the razzle-dazzle it needs to do what needs to be done. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in my description and take Bedukated's quiz to get your personalized roadmap to sexual happiness. You can also use the QR code on my screen to get started. So again, click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen to kick off your journey with Beducated today. Thank you for sponsoring this video, Beducated. Now let's get back to it. We see that Joe Nass has been living with Matipa for the last year, but Joyce is not prepared to let go of her marriage. She's still trying to, get her husband back, and she's trying to come tell him, hey, I don't give a what you doing with this gal. We still have to have a 20th wedding anniversary party. My career depends on it. You need to show up and you need to be there. As she trying to say this, Matipa and her stink ass having a stink ass attitude, and he right there helping co-sign it, being disgusted and stinking to Joyce, man. And we come to find out, and I just could give y'all all the things, but I telling you, y'all gotta watch this key to see how this shit is unfold here. Oh Lord, this good tea. Joyce and Joe Nass been married for 20 years. Joyce and Joe Nass have 3 children. They have their son Menzi, they have their daughter Mapume, and they have another infant, like newborn baby they just had recently. Literally, he started having the affair with Matipa 2 seconds after she had the baby and gone away with Matipa. Gone and leave your wife. So after Joyce tried get him to go have this party, like, oh, I need you to show up to this party and do your part, it's pretending to be my husband for the public. That's when Matipa, all in his ear, like, you need to divorce her. So he come and shock her and file divorce papers. And when she get her divorce papers, her stinking, disgusting mother, who we could talk, let me don't even say we could talk about her, because no, we not. Let me tell you what you need to know about the mother right now. The mother is be stand up there, literally is a harbinger of misogyny and the patriarchy. When the girl get the divorce papers, the mommy's like, I don't know why you shocked. He been out the house for a year, which I mean is fair. But she ain't just saying that. I know why you shocked. You sitting around here in a bonnet, or you out here let yourself go. The girl just had a baby. She in our house, like she just had baby. She taking care of baby. Her mother telling her, oh, it's her fault her husband leave her because she ain't fix up and this and the next thing, blah, blah. Her mother is a wishy-washy bird, okay? Everything her mother could say to be a gangster, that's how she speak. When the with her, the mommy just be like, oh, that's your fault. You need to fix up yourself. You need to get your mind. You need to this, that. When she be trying to get the mind, the mommy be like, gee, man, you don't think this crazy? The mind say he won't be with you. What you mean? Why you trying to blind body and thing? Then if she get the mind, the mommies be like, oh, Lord, you ain't feel foolish thinking this man can stay with you. Like, whatever the Joyce going through, her mother talking stressful shit in her ear. So we don't even gonna mind her. So anyway, Joyce get the divorce papers and she run hot. Not only did she go to his office to go cuss his ass out, Lord, Joyce walk up in the people's house. By the people, I mean Jonas and Matipa stay upstairs grinding. They so busy grinding, they can't hear that his wife done come in the house. She come in the house and when she see him and her passport sitting on the table, like they planning trip, they planning engagement. Joyce set the passport on fire. When you look, whole house catch on fire. Joyce break off running. Joyce going home and they too busy grinding upstairs to notice the house getting ready to burn down and they getting ready dead. Did I do that? But have no fear because Jonas have 9 lives. Listen, I ever didn't know this. I say this all the time, but wicked people is live long, okay? Because Jesus don't want them. Ain't nobody trying to call them home. Him and I survived the fire, and immediately Matipa asked go and call the police on Joyce to get Joyce arrested. While Joyce arrested, you know what? We could double back at the end to who Joyce meet while she was in jail, locked up for 2 seconds off this fire charge. We can get back to it. Joyce get locked up overnight off Matipa saying, oh, she know it's Joyce. She know it's Joyce who try to get her killed. Now from there, even though Matipa doing this, and Matipa feel comfortable doing this because Jonas has given her permission to disrespect Joyce, Jonas still have 3 children with Joyce, and Joyce been his wife for 20 years, and the company that Jonas run, which is the reason why he rich, called J&J, actually stand for Joyce and Jonas. And on top of that, and more and very important to this rich man carrying, because fundamentally, I should have said that Jonas have plenty money, and that is the reason for all the wickedness and debauchery. Jonas could be on the whole movie because he have money. But importantly to him having money is Jonas don't come from no money. Jonas come from poverty. The only reason Jonas have any money is because he get with Joyce. Okay, he get with Joyce, and was Joyce daddy who had money, and Joyce daddy set up Jonas with a company and all this in the next day. So Jonas don't have nothing on his own, and what he do have is quite literally not just because Joyce is his wife, but legally, them's Joyce and his things. They started, she have shares, she own half it, all that. So that's important, okay? He can't do nothing without Joyce. So when Matipa get Joyce arrested, he immediately goes and gets her out, gets her bail out. From there, he want his divorce. Joyce is like, if you want your divorce, I'll give you your divorce, but you gotta have to do the party. Because it ain't just that Joyce is desperate to keep her husband, which she is, and we could talk about it. But it ain't just that. It's also that her career and her money and all this or whatever, like this thing she's built for herself and that she find very important, is contingent upon creating the appearances, branding. So anyway, she tell him come to this party. He's like, girl, you crazy? I ain't going to no party or whatever. When you look, the party come, everybody talking bad, but Joyce so crazy for having this party for the hunt to celebrate this marriage for this man waiting in the house. He ain't checking for her. He done asked for a divorce. He all around the place with Matipa. Have her looking dead stupid. And when you look, not only is she in the middle of her hating ass, everybody looking around thinking she's stupid, Matipa walking the party. Again, I said about Matipa. Matipa ain't just a side bitch. Matipa is a bitch who actively, Matipa looking for validation and affirmation and putting another woman down. Like, Matipa take this woman husband and Matipa carrying on like this woman is the problem. This woman is the problem because she won't let go of this man. She won't get it. And she bothering them and blah, 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 blah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, babe. I can't. The only thing I hate more than a side bitch is a woman who will do some shit like that. Is a woman who think she somehow like I can't even say that she thinks she's the victim because she can't think that. But a woman who somehow finds herself vilifying the wife, having a problem with the wife. So she come up there to the party hoping to humiliate Joyce. And just when she thought she was gonna humiliate Joyce, walking in a terrible wig. Lord, my African sisters in these wigs. Yeah, anyway. Walking in a horrible wig, but body cold. One thing we can take from Matipa. Matipa got all the body. And she know it. That's why she have Jonas. So anyway, Matipa walking there thinking that she and Jonas could come humiliate Joyce and he could divorce Joyce and him and her could go get married and all of that. Man, Jonas pull up in there in matching outfits with Joyce, slide past her and start playing husband. Because again, I tell y'all, the business is contingent on the appearances and doing what the Joyce say. But in the course of doing the pretend, doing the show or whatever, he realized, like, you know what? He hearing things you would think. Because I want y'all to think that Jonas have a heart. Because he don't. I don't want y'all to think, oh, Jonas is be moved by sentiments and stuff like that, because Jonas is a demon. All right, Jonas is everything Jonas do is motivated by his own dick, his own desires, and something else. Jonas wicked. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, let's just say that Jonas was moved by what they saying about his marriage and being reminded, and he's like, you know what? I ain't one dad in my marriage, you know. And on top of he ain't one dad in his marriage, Matipa being a pain in his ass. Because the thing about men like this is they only at Matipa and side women and mistresses because they want you to be a fantasy. They feel like your obligation is to create a fantasy away from home. Like, oh, my wife and my family and my home structure is a bunch of stress. I need you to be nothing more but pussy and peace. Pussy and peace. That's all they looking for their side bitch. So now that Matipa there, Matipa upset because you here playing husband to this gal.
The only reason I came to the stupid party was to humiliate Joyce.
She thought y'all come there to shame the woman all that. So she trying to pull up a scene on him and my is like, who the you talking to, girl? And she's like, you Jonas, my Jonas is like. And so from that, he was like, you know what? This gal actually don't know how to play a position, you know. Let me stay with my wife. Man, look here. After he done do his wife like a dog for the last year, he was treating this woman like shit. She had a baby. He leave her. He dog her. He let this woman dog and disrespect her. Now, quick as that. He love his wife again. He's sleeping back in the bed. He love his wife. He want to be with his wife. He in the house. He in the this, da 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 da. And we can talk about his children have plenty of sense and they ain't going for that in a second. But before we get there, he back in the house now all of a sudden, acting like he want to be with Joyce again. And even though this was Joyce wanted, all Joyce wanted was for her husband to catch sense again and be the man she thinks she know for 20 years in the marriage that they had and all of this. But of course, she still is like, what the girl now? Like, this man been adamantly me and this marriage for the last year. He done file divorce papers on me. That's what happened. Joyce, after the party, she going to finally sign the divorce papers like he say. But when she actually signed the divorce papers, that man we ain't want to sign them. All of a sudden, now he want to grind his wife. He want to be with his wife. So Joyce dad lost. Joyce still feeling, you know, like she can't trust this man and could go run out the house again and go back to Matipa and go do all these things stuff. She have all kind of stress on her. And then on top of that, Matipa calling her, trying to taunt her and disrespect her. Because like I say, Matipa somehow seriously feels claim to another woman's husband to the point where she really think she's the man, like that she could call this woman and bitch at this woman that her husband come home to her husband. So when you look, Matipa on the phone talking shit to Joyce like, oh, you think, because he back at home with you that I could keep like that, but you ain't know. But what you think could happen when he had worked with me all day? Because I ain't tell y'all how he know Matipa. When I tell y'all Matipa is a quite literal, skilled gold digger, like she's a bitch who's a gold digger by profession, like a shameless gold digger, shameless. Matipa come into the company of J&J actually messing with Magesh. And Magesh is Jonasi' brother. And we can talk about Magesh a little bit later on. But before we get deeper into the video, y'all know I finally launched merch, right? Okay, that's right. The Illuminativerse finally has merch so you can rep your favorite channel. Okay, that's right. Whether you're an Illuminati pop girl like myself, an Olay and chill enthusiast like my baby sister, an Olay and friends stan like all my friends, or somebody who locks in for a 2-hour Illuminati production, we've got something for you. We've got mugs, shirts, and hats. It's all very cute because Cartoon Me is adorable. Shout out to Doonerific Tariq for being the man behind her. And to my pop watchers in particular, please notice you wore me down and I finally gave y'all the shoot me with your big gun merch y'all kept begging me for. But it's a mug. Y'all are not getting a shirt because I made one. I'm wearing it. And I want y'all to know, shoot me with your big gun on a shirt feel like target practice, and y'all ain't gonna say that I send y'all out there like that. But I genuinely love my merch, not just because it's mine, but because I ordered everything myself before showing it to y'all, so I can make sure the quality was good, because I can't have y'all spending y'all hard-earned money on garbage. Which is why I'm pleased to report that I now have a cupboard full of beautiful glossy mugs and a drawer full of the comfiest Illuminati shirts. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel or rep your favorite corner of the Illuminativerse, or just walk around with my cartoon face on your chest, check out the merch store linked in the description below, or go to Illuminati-shop.fourthwall.com, or use the QR code on your screen to make sure you get your Illuminati merch today. That's Illuminati-shop.fourthwall.com, or click the link in the description below, or use the QR code on screen to run me your money today. Now let's get back to the video. But at this point, we know Magesh to be married to Essie, and Essie has 2 children, Freedom and Sarah. We can get back to them. How Matipa even get up in the company or get to be no one Jonas to start the affair, anything like that. She get a job. She was Magash to get to a place enough in the company that she could even meet, could even parlay to go try and meet Jonas. That was the girl plan all along. She's the kind of hoe you see coming to the point where the assistant know that's what she up to. So when you see the flashback of how she meet Jonas, she come trying to find bullshit ways to get up in front of his face. And the assistant was like, girl, no, I know what the you are. Come from around here. But just like a busy body hoe, she didn't care. She slide past the assistant. She gone into Jonas' office. And because Jonas will any motherfucking thing that walk in, all she had to do was flirt and bend her ass over in front of him. And quick as that, affair has begun. So, and then not only affair has begun, instantaneously, she get a promotion. She go from working in compliance to head of compliance. And as soon, I telling you she was with Magash, as soon as she stopped his brother, the CEO, to get a promotion, she dumped Magash immediately. Like she's a bitch who don't even try to pretend she there for anything other than things. Tangsy bitch. Which is what even blew me from the first place on Jonas' part. It was like, for even a second, it's one thing that you's a piece of shit that is cheat on your wife. That's one thing. But you could first of all, not only is it crazy that you would even want no woman that was your brother, but you will leave your wife of 20 years, your wife, a woman who you know could count on for 20 years, build you up, have 3 children with you. You will leave your wife, not just leave your wife for another woman or leave your wife for a side bitch. You will leave your wife for a side bitch that is a gold digger who used to your brother. She planned and schemed to your brother just to get to you. That's the kind of gold digging bitch we talking about, and that's who the he will leave his wife for. But anyway, I tell you, Matipa's a bitch. So Matipa calling Joyce like, girl, you think because I might come home to you that you could keep him? What you think could happen with me at work? So Joyce say, oh, you know what, you right. Fire that bitch, eh? And he does. He does oblige and fire her. For 2 seconds, you was get the impression that it seemed like this man have any interest in trying to honor his marriage.
Absolutely not.
Please. Like he even trying to be faithful for even a second. For 2 seconds, he's give you that impression. But quick as that, like I say, Matipa is a career hoe. So Matipa say, oh, you firing me from here? She say, I could find a man 10 times more powerful than Jonas. And I find that so crazy to me because, so you with a man, you scheme to go be with a man, a rich, powerful man. And that rich, powerful man just throw you on your ass out the blue, leave you with nothing. And quick like that. The rich, powerful man done toss you on your ass. And you want a 10 times more powerful than him who could crush you like a bug? I'm like, I don't understand that thought process. I want a man 10 times more powerful than him. Why don't you want to be 10 times more powerful than him? Why don't you want it to be you?
Stand up! Stand up!
Anyway, she say she want a man 10 times more powerful. So she goes out to go get the minister that do business with him and Joyce. The same minister who him and his wife was like, their financial support of the company depends on him and Joyce staying together as a couple, because that's what the wife decide. Quick as that, Matipa go there to the minister to go get a job from the minister and start having an affair with him. But while Jonas and Joyce out, Joyce, they at a restaurant. Joyce go to the bathroom for 2 seconds. Joyce can't piss. Joyce cannot piss without her trifling husband making his way over to another bitch face. As she go to the bathroom for 2 minutes, he over there for like Matipa, and now he in Matipa face hot. That Matipa with another man. Him who married. So when you check stock, Lord, let me tell you something. I want y'all to understand the sheer amount of times they up the ante in this motherfucking show and shock the shit out of you here. Joyce missing thinks that she's having a pregnancy scare, right? Joyce is scared that she's pregnant. And the reason she's scared that she's pregnant is because her loving husband of 20 years left her, cheated on her, and left her after she had the last baby. The 2 seconds she couldn't have sex, this man, he off. And it wasn't even like, oh, she could have sex. She was having sex with him and stuff like that. This man just is a cheating, trifling. But the point is, after she had the baby, he was treating her dead stink. That's when he started cheating. That's when he leave us. And now this woman have so much anxiety and trauma around her last pregnancy. She terrified that if she get pregnant again, she'll lose her husband who she just get back. She decides to go get her tube aside without his permission because, of course, he would never give it to her. Give it to her permission. All this. Anyways, because when she thinks she's pregnant, he immediately starts going getting excited. And he, let's get pregnant. Let's try for more babies. Time this while you go, which is important. Once he get back together, whatever, you should hear him. Oh, let's don't talk about the past no more. Let's don't talk about when we were separated. Because that's how you go. Let's don't talk about all the shit I do, which is the fundamental problem with him and his children. We could get back because it's very important how we treat his children. Because honestly, the people who get it the worst, the women get it horrible. Let me tell you, the women get it horrible. The women at least signing on and signing up for this bullshit. The kids don't deserve the bullshit. And fundamental to the bullshit, in particular for Joyce's children, Mapume and Menzi, is that this he done treat their mommy like shit. He done abandoned their family. He done been gone. And now that he come back, he worse than who they knew when they left. He trying to dominate them. He cussing them out. He threatening them. He have this whole, like, anytime they try to bring up the fact that you abandoned your family, like, take responsibility for your actions and what you did. He's like, do not talk to me like that. I am not your friend. I am your father. You must respect me. Blah, 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 blah. African daddy shit. Like, don't get me started, yeah? So, Joyce goes to the hospital to go get her tubes tied. So, as she at the hospital to go get her tubes tied, her mommy coming around the hallway and her mommy see Jonas. So, the mommy going running scared, like thinking Jonas find out she there to go get her tubes tied. Mind you, she was getting ready to leave anyhow because here go Joyce. Joyce then get up, tell her mother like, no, I can't get this procedure. I can't get a serious procedure like this behind my husband's back. That'd be wrong. As she talking about what she wouldn't do behind her husband back, her mother goes, oh my God, I see Jonas coming down the hallway. So they scared, thinking that Jonas know they there. The doctor come in the room and he was like, oh, it's so amazing. We have so many Gamoras in there today. Like, Gamoras giving birth or whatever the and she was like, huh? What are the Gamoras? Ain't know what a Gamora about me. What the you talking about? And he's like, yeah, like your husband down there with another Gamora. And they're like, excuse me, Gamoras, what the you talking about? So she go break off down the hallway. Her and her mommy run into her, and when they walk in the room, the Matipa that he claimed he leave, they've been back together must see a year at this point. You know, take 9 months to make a baby. They've been together back a whole year. She thinking they good again, they happy again. This in the hospital room holding his twin children he just had with Matipa. Matipa just gave birth to twin girls. Joyce fall out, and I don't blame her. And this right here, let me tell you something. This should have been when Joyce leave this man. Like I telling y'all, this should have been it here. If it wasn't before, even if she wanted to write off the initial affair, the initial year, as he was having a midlife crisis or something happened or whatever, he lose his mind, I don't know. But this right here, these babies, because it ain't just, y'all have to understand, it ain't just like Matipa had the babies, like he had these babies on her during the year that he leave her for Matipa. No. He get Matipa pregnant during the year he get back with his wife. God. During the year he claim he's faithful and don't know Matipa no more. He done impregnate Matipa with these babies and lie about it. And you know what he keep doing? Lie some more. He telling Joyce, it was an accident. I was weak one day. Gone over there, which I should talk about when he was weak one day. This shouldn't have been. Joyce should have left this way before, actually, correction. Joyce shouldn't have just leave him when he got Matipa pregnant, when she found out he had the children with Matipa. Joyce should have leave Jonancy the day he end up getting Matipa pregnant, because let me tell you what happened that day. And that was the day that I stopped having too much grace. I keep having grace for Joyce. Joyce is my bitch. That's my jack. That's my mom, 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? But this when Joyce becomes somebody who is guilty of harm doing it on right as a parent. Because you bring this man back in your house, okay, it's one thing that this your husband, this is the father of your children. You was married to him for 20 years. You have a business with him. You have 3 children with him. He leaves the home. He has an affair. He leaves you. Y'all are separated for a year. Okay, it's one thing that you want to come take him back. You want to come bring your husband back in the house. It's another thing entirely to allow that man to come back into the household and the family that he has broken and abuse your children. He back in the house. All of a sudden, this don't have none but hatred and smoke for Menzi. He gripped Menzi up. He choked. And Menzi is a sweet boy. Literally, I'm telling you, the entire series is just Jonas and all these men around him, with the exception of Magesh, and like trying to speak toxic masculinity into Menzi. Like, be a horrible, take woman, cheat on woman, dominate or conquest woman, do mean woman, evil hating, woman hating shit. Because Menzi ain't like that, the daddy won't grip him the up, choke him up, go. I say, let me tell you something. Being a mother does not stop you from being a woman, right? Like being a mother does not mean that you don't have feelings, that your own romantic feelings and love that you had for this man before you ever had them cheering for him disappears, so that it doesn't matter. I don't think that because you're a mother, you can't have your feelings or be motivated by wanting to have your love. But your desire to have love in a relationship ends where it harm your children. It's one thing if you want to take a man back who's cheat on you, what never, no problem. But you can't take back no man who and I was beating on your children. Are you kidding me? You can let a man disrespect you and your children, leave your family and come back in after a year and put hands on your child? Okay, don't get me started with Joyce with that shit, because that's Joyce's biggest. Joyce, we getting ahead of ourselves, but I don't appreciate the way Joyce was letting that disrespect, cuss out, yell at, put his hands on her children, both Mfume and Menzi, and without retaliation and recourse. There's too much concern about what he doing to her and her feelings, and the betrayal of this is like, I love Joyce, but my main criticism of Joyce is that Joyce's number one focus was her feelings about this man, what he doing to her. And that's how Essie, you know what, I get ahead of myself. That's how all these bitches is. They all have children. All of them children, that they have children for this man, children that this man is harming. They ain't worried about that. All that, they want all the children just suck it up, take it, whatever, that's your daddy, blah, 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 that's your daddy, respect your daddy, blah, blah, blah. But all their feelings, they, oh my God, how could you do this to me? Jonas. Any way. So the day that he physically get violent with his child, he put hands on Menzi because he mad because he see Matipa out with the minister so he could go abuse his child. Then he leave that house and go on there and go on the Matipa house and grip her up to go grind her and impregnate her. But now here he is, after all the time he been carrying on big affair with Matipa, he initiating the affair with Matipa, getting back to with Matipa, having children with Matipa, but then he won't be enough. He's like, oh, it was a mistake. I was tripping that day. I went to work. She showed up at my job and forced herself on me. This man going to her house. But not only does Joyce not leave this after he didn't have 2 children on her, Joyce proposes the idea that this takes on a second wife. Like, oh, you know what? You ain't gonna leave her. You refuse to stop bothering with this woman, and I scared to death of losing my husband, of him leaving and not coming back. So you know what? I will just agree for you to take on this woman as your second wife, so I could guarantee that we stay together, that you stay in the household, that you getting everything. This is what you say you wanted. I giving it to you. I giving you everything you wanted. So then you have no reason to leave. If I curse, if I mother curse, then they had go Matipa. I tell you, Matipa trying to do every little kind of disrespect she could do. And Matipa, Joyce, and Jonas sit down and come up with a plan like, okay, we're gonna make a joint statement for the public, because she want to get in front of the narrative. I want to remind y'all, Joyce is an influencer who's concerned about her brand and how she come across to the public. So she needs to come up with a way to package this to the public that don't affect her brand perception and her relationships and ultimately her money. But Matipa's so wicked because Matipa is resentful. Matipa doesn't want to be a second wife. Matipa want him leave his wife that he have 3 children with for her, throw her, discard her. Matipa resentful at the idea that like, oh, she got to be on Joyce's program, that Joyce gets to decide how it is, that Joyce control the narrative, whatever. So Matipa decides the way she get embarrassed Joyce is to go put out an Instagram while Joyce was in the middle of like, she on a live televised performance. That's when Matipa goes and puts out a picture on social media on Instagram of Matipa and Jonas and the children like, oh, tag him, hey, these are children, this is in the next thing, to create a whole kind of fallout for Joyce that she have to get in front of. And let me tell you about Matipa. You play wicked games and you win wicked prizes because you bending over backwards. You so badly want to be with this man, which is another thing. Let me just make sure I say this, because Matipa is trying being Joyce's face, like mad, like this ain't just your life, this my life too. I'm not gonna apologize because I fell in love with a man. I didn't seek out to fall in love with a married man, but she did. Like in this case, she did. She actively did. She plotted on this. But she in front of Joyce's face playing victim like, we just fell in love. We just happened to fall in love. He loved me, I love him. Stupid cocksucking bitches, yeah? Oh my God. Anyways, you play wicked games, you win wicked prizes because you were so desperate, hard up to have this man. But all you are is a little plaything, pussy and peace. That's all he expects you to bring. He don't want nothing else from you. If you see a man, Matipa was so wicked and disgusting and stinking about not just Joyce, but her children. At one point in time during the year they were separated, Joyce to try to bring over her children for this man to see his children for a week. His children, a week. Matipa and they're carrying on like, oh, Joy's so wicked. Oh, she's so crazy and wicked for this shit. What a wicked, crazy thing to do. Like, expect a man to care for his children for a week. So you saw a man, that's how she wanted him to treat his wife and treat his children. But then when she have babies, all of a sudden she thinks she fucking special. Like only she want a baby. So now she's stressed right out because every time this man comes in the house, he don't give a fuck about these babies. Like when I tell you, he don't care about them. He don't pick them up. If they cry, he fucking leave. He's come, literally, she bust up, she break up, she just had a baby, she sad, she this, all kind of postpartum, and my niggas are like, give me some pussy. She's like, I literally can't have sex. I just had a baby. I can't have sex for 6 weeks. Please help me with these children. He's like, get on your knees, bitch, and suck my dick. Your mouth still fucking work, right? Oh my God. And I did not feel bad for, I will eventually feel bad for Matipa, but boy, it took a lot. I had to rise to a level. This shit right here, she'd have deserved this shit. Because you gone right there, you gone knowingly, consciously went out to seduce a married man who you know just had a fucking baby. And you didn't just do, it's not just like you don't care, like you're just a woman looking to survive and you're trying to secure resources and you just ain't thinking about the next woman. Like it ain't just like, oh, she just ain't thinking about Joyce. She thinking about Joyce and hating Joyce, like Joyce do something to her. But as she doing that, as Joyce and Matipa busy going to war over Jonas, man, when you look, you wonder, Lord, look yo. Come to find out, we go to Essie house, right? Now, Essie, I tell y'all earlier about Magash. Magash is Jonas' brother, and Magash was allegedly, I say allegedly, married to Essie. And Essie have 2 children named Freedom and Sarah. Freedom and Sarah. Freedom was Essie's child. We don't know who Freedom daddy is. Freedom is not Magash's child. And that they were saying Sarah is Magash's child. So that would make Sarah and Freedom is Joy's children, Mapume and Menzi cousins. So Menzi and Freedom friends and Mapume and Sarah friends. But Mapume and Sarah ain't no kind of true friends because Mapume don't got a true friend in the world and we could go down it. But Mapume think that Sarah is both her cousin and her best friend. Sarah hate her guts. The amount of jealousy and resentment and stewing Sarah have for. At one point, Sarah got up, mommy, go to Essie, like, hey, can I get an iPhone? Like, I want an iPhone, like how Mapume has. Like, the jealousy don't even try to, like, hide. Like, Mapume have that? I should have that. I upset. Mapume, everything Mapume can't smile without Sarah skidding up her fucking face. And it ain't just Sarah carrying on like that with Mapume. When you look, you see Essie carrying on like that with Joyce. Because now, from Joyce's perspective, Essie is her sister-in-law. She think Essie and her is friends. What made Joyce decide to propose the idea of Matipa becoming a second wife is because Joyce goes over to Essie to get advice. Like, Essie, I love my husband so much. He's back in the house. And Essie's like, well, then what you complaining about? You ain't happy? Back in the house. Go be happy. And she was like, he's back in the house, but I still don't know what made him come back. Just like I don't know what made him left. I feel anxiety that he'll leave me or whatever one day. Like, how do I ensure he stay in the house with me? Essie sit up in her face. Essie's like, oh, your problem is you need to be a man's peace. Stop complaining. Cook for him, feed for him. All men is cheat. All men is this. You need to be, use the problem. You need to do this, do that. I said, keep in mind, because Joyce asked her, because Joyce was like, hey, listen, I'm sure that you hear that Magash is cheat and you and Magash together. So how do y'all make that work? And that's how Essie basically is be like, I just be a mind peace. I don't cause no problems, which is interesting because her being like, oh, she's a mind peace. Because earlier, Jonas was portraying Essie like Essie is one loudmouth, vulgar pain in the ass that Magash and nobody could stand. Like literally earlier, there was a party and Essie at the party drinking and chilling, whatever. And Jonas tell Magash, like, get Essie out of here. She being loud and drunk and annoying and embarrassing me. Get her the fuck up out of here. So it's interesting to hear her talking like that. But anyway, the point is, Joyce goes to her for this advice because she think we are sister-in-laws and we're friends. But every time you look, Essie talking bad. But every time Essie in the house talking to her children, talking to anybody, she talking bad but Joyce. She delighting in Joyce, getting embarrassed and thing like, oh, I only going to Joyce party because I want to see Joyce get shamed and all of this. Like, she all that. And and you wondering why she act like this. Lord, tell me why, while Matipa and Joyce rowing, they in the house rowing because they don't know where Jonas is. They assume that Jonas with one of them. They rowing them and they realize Jonas ain't fucking him. Jonas, none of y'all have no tabs on the way he is. And that's because he over in the township on the next side of back from where he come from, fucking Essie. And me over here thinking, oh my God, this man me brother's wife, which shouldn't shock you because he take a side bitch from me brother, no? Like, and when you find out, no, he ain't fucking his brother wife. He fucking his wife.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
This been married to Essie the whole time. They thinking Matipa is second wife. Essie is the second wife. And Essie is the second wife, pretending to be married to Magesh so that Joyce don't know. Lord God, for 20-something years. You get this? Literally, the reason Sarah's sitting up there, mean-spirited, stinking, hating on Pume, hating Joyce and them with everything they have, is because she jealous that she seeing Jonas be the perfect daddy to Mapume, but Jonas ain't claiming her. Jonas there, he's showing up. Lord, that's a wicked oh my God. And the craziest part is Essie and Sarah and all them, everybody mad at Joyce when it ain't Joyce from. How you mad at Joyce? They give us a flashback. Let me tell you what happened. Essie and Jonasi grew up in the same township. They both grew up in poverty. How they met was Essie met a bunch of boys jumping Jonas, and she gone and she defend him. She look out for him, and they develop a friendship. This is what I need you to understand. From the day she knows Jonas, even as a young child, Jonas was a womanizer. They show you Jonas two-timing gals, and cheating on gals and lying to gals, and Essie being a part of helping him cover it up. I mean, Jonas been like this from time. Like, she know him to be this from time. But they do show him and show her and him having this, like, what seems like a sweet and earnest relationship. But what I need y'all to understand is every one of these women have an interaction with him. You see flashbacks where he appears to be this caring, sweet man. He's the devil. Whatever he needs to do to get what he needs. So when you look, him and Essie eventually, you see, like, this them young. They eventually hook up, proclaim their love for each other. Like, oh, we in love. And not only that, he was trying to go to college. Like, how he ended up to get out of poverty and to get out of town, he was trying to go to college, but his daddy didn't come up with the money for his applications. And so Essie reaches into her bag, and the money she saved up doing here, she gave him all the money so that this man could apply to school and finish out his dreams, right? Cool. So when he get into college or get a scholarship, he promised her, like, oh, I coming back to come marry you. I could give you this. I could give you that. I could give you this. I could give you that. Man, he was talking to her at first in school. As soon as them exams, she wait for that man to call her. He never called her. 8 years passed. 8 years passed. She ain't there from this man. She's still in the township. She done essentially moved on with her life to some degree. She's still thinking about this man, still in love with this man. But she's had a child at this point for a man we don't know, which is a child freedom. Jonas, then one day she see in the paper, Jonas marries Joyce, the daughter of a rich tycoon. She know that. That's how she know. That's the first she even hear about this man in 8 years. Then when you look, he pulls up to the house one day. He have a car he buy for her. He have a house he buy for her. And he's like, oh, I want to get married. I want you to be my second wife. They have a whole wedding in the village. Everybody there. She agrees to be the second wife. And Lord, it's so sad. Essie is so sad how much like what Essie was prepared to accept and how she was treated like trash her entire life, babe. Like Essie becomes like Essie mean and spiteful and pick-me-ish and have bad ways about her as well. But boy, do you still feel bad for Essie, because it's not lost upon me. This man makes Essie his second wife. Essie gets pregnant. Like this is a child they had in marriage together. Essie thinking Joyce know about this. Like he came to her like, oh yeah, they know you're gonna be my second wife. She thinking all this is on the up and up. And then one day she in the store with Jonas, they buying things for the baby, and they run into Joyce. And when they run into Joyce, that's when he come up with the excuse on the spot, the lie on the spot that Essie is his sister-in-law, is Magash's wife, and he had taken care of some. And so they just keep going with this lie for 20 years.
That's rough, buddy.
And I just don't understand why Essie would allow herself to be treated in this way, dog. It's so crazy. And it's so sad because it's so clear the deep shade, like there's so many levels to it. The fact that Essie is a dark-skinned, plus-size, poor woman. And so that's the wife that you relegate into secrecy. Because you even think about it. Even when he called himself leaving, like you now have a second wife. You've now a second wife, which is really your third wife, Matipo. You could have Matipo, but you still don't double back and go tell them nothing about Essie and Sarah. And more importantly, even when he was split up from Joyce, when he was not with Joyce for a year and it looked like he was gonna divorce Joyce, he filed for divorce on Joyce. He still ain't never, that's what I think I say on this to say, he still ain't never tell Joyce or tell everybody, Essie is my wife, Sarah is my child, anything like that, because it wasn't just about him scared to tell Joyce because he think Joyce could leave him. No, not at all. He makes it very abundant abundantly clear repeatedly that he has absolutely no fear of Joyce leaving him. Absolutely none. So it had nothing to do with fear or that he trying to protect something or something like that. It has something to do with him genuinely not being proud of Essie and that family, being ashamed of them, like treating her like a dirty secret. Like she does not reflect what he trying to signal to the world. Because you could proudly say you marry Joyce. You could proudly say you marry Matipa. You have Essie in secret. And because of that caused Sarah to be a wicked, jealous, mean-spirited, horrible bitch. Because she spin around. Now she, instead of them hating this man, they hating Jonas, who's responsible for this, Essie hating her mother, who ain't do them nothing, and Sarah hating her sister Mapume. Sarah hating her sister Mapume so much to the point where she goes and Mapume boyfriend, who Mapume in Mapume room, Mapume boy, she's not only Mapume's sister. Think about that. Like, you Mapume's sister. Mapume don't know that to you. Mapume don't even know your sisters, but she love you and is do right by you. You steal her phone, then you her boyfriend in her bedroom. I don't fuck with Sarah. Like, Sarah, there's a lot to feel sorry for Sarah for in terms of how Sarah daddy is treated her. And even how her mommy is treated and all, like, what her life and her family life is. And so I understand how Sarah came to be the way that she is, but it don't change the fact that she is who she is. And ultimately, she's a resentful, jealous, spiteful person, and you can't keep bitches like that around you. Period. Mapume is right to never truly with her. Moving on. But it is in the course of that where, like, you see repeatedly Jonas keeping Sarah and Essie a secret to the point where, like, I'm telling you, he actively deny, and again, the wickedness, because he giving resources to Matipa and Matipa children. He ain't taking care of them children. He treating Matipa like shit, but he's still taking care of them. He making sure they live in the finest of things. He giving them money. Like, hey, them and Joyce living wealthy. Meanwhile, Essie and Sarah and Freedom struggling. Like, actively, the mistreatment is so crazy, and it's so sad because for Essie to still, you stay married to this man and you giving this man pussy for decades while you watching him mistreat your children, mistreat you and relegate y'all to secrecy. I can't understand. No, I do understand, but it's just so sad when women love more than they love themselves, yeah? And then because I grow weary. Anyway, it's true when Sarah finally lashes out and decides to go Mapume boyfriend, that she eventually finally, the jig is up and she blow it off the whole thing and let everybody know, like, Essie is my daddy wife. I am his child. I ain't his niece. Or listen to the next thing. And from there, do you think that makes Jonas be a better father to her? No. Because Jonas is a piece of shit. Jonas is a piece of shit to all his children. It just varies the kind of ways that he's a piece of shit. He's a different kind of piece of shit. He's a worse piece of shit in many ways to Sarah, for sure. He's do that poor girl so horribly. But he is do Menzi and Mapume horribly as well. So now at this point, by the time everybody done realized Jonas is married to Joyce, he married to Matipa, he married to Essie, and he treating all their children like shit and all them letting him get away with it, that's when he start thinking, I's a God. None of you bitches going nowhere. None of you bitches could do anything about anything. I could carry on bad and I could show my ass. I need y'all to understand the things for like this. Men like this do things purely, you can't satiate them by agreeing to it. Joyce thinking, oh, if I let him be married to this woman, if I give him everything that he wants, oh, then he'll stay with me. He won't be a problem. He'll be happy. No, because men like this enjoy deceit. They enjoy feeling like they getting one over you. He enjoy hurting them, being able to control them, being able to show that he could do whatever he wants and get away with it. It's not enough to have these. It don't matter you give him 1 wife, 2 wife, 3 wife. He could find 4, he could find 5 because he just want to do So as though this man cannot do any more wickedness, I say to CJ, let me tell you, after I see, soon as he get the second wife and the first and the second wife preoccupied with each other, we realize there's a third wife. When he in with Matipa, when he in with Joyce and Matipa, he with Essie. So I say, okay, well, when he in with Joyce and Matipa and Essie, who the else he could be with? I tell y'all, this man have a blind, seething hatred all of a sudden for his son, Menzi, who was nothing but a sweet boy for no mother reason. He won't be stinging a Menzi. Now, and remember I told you Mapume don't have a friend she could trust in this world. Mapume got 2 friends. It's her cousin, who's actually her sister, Sarah, who's a piece of shit who gone and her boyfriend in her bedroom. So that's the devil. And then her next friend is Lindani. First of all, Lindani is gorgeous. She looks like an African Ryan Destiny. Gorgeous. Lindani, Menzi is so trip over Lindani. He loves him Lindani. That's all he thinking about the entire show. But he, you know, everybody, his daddy and everybody, Lindani have a boyfriend. Lindani have a boyfriend who's a handsome young man too, named X. So Menzi, he's shy. He nervous. He, you know, intimidated by her. Oh, she have a boyfriend. So he keep trying to have this serious crush. Like he in love with her in his mind. But he keep trying to find a way, work up the nerve to figure out the way to approach her, like how to win her over. But every time he try to talk to her or whatever, she is like, blow him off, like, oh, whatever. Like she don't be interested in nothing. He be saying, oh, Lord. And the only advice he's be getting from Freedom and them is like, oh, push up on her, just kiss her, just do this, just all these kind of horrible advice that just creates a toxic, abusive predator of a man. But that's, of course, the kind of advice he getting from his piece of shit daddy. So as his daddy is fully aware that his son is in love with his daughter's best friend, all of whom are children. Would y'all believe? And you would believe, because I want y'all to know, I sensed it. Because at one point in time, Mapume throws a party at the house when she didn't get parents on a trip, and when he come back home and it's all the chaos, for just a split second, you see him looking at Lindani body as she dance on the table. And like I tell y'all, nothing in this show is accident. They don't waste no minutes on, they don't waste nothing you see on the screen. If you see it even a second, it coming back. See, to see him flash there for a second, y'all believe this big, grizzly, old, nasty, burly ass man start his daughter's young friend, who his son is in love with?
I am going to explode in 6 seconds.
That's who the stuff. And he this little ass girl, taking advantage of this little ass girl, seducing this little girl because she broke. She comes from poverty, and so he knows like, oh, I could woo her. She tired of waiting tables, doing this. She don't feel like she have no mobility, no options in life. So he seduces and woos this little girl that he know that is his daughter, his child daughter's best friend, and who his son in love with. He stopped this young girl and he impregnate her. And here's the gag on disrespect. Not only that, I mean, not only is this little girl is a child, this little girl is his daughter's friend, this little girl is who his son is in love with. This little girl is also somebody his wife Joyce has raised like a child, because the girl have a mummy of her own. So Joyce has basically raised this girl as a child of her own, to the point where when, as Lindani gets pregnant, she goes to have a miscarriage. He nowhere to be found. So she at the hospital. Who runs to the hospital to try to be there for Lindani? Joyce and Mapume. Not her mommy. Joyce. Joyce is there like, I'm this child's mother. Like, she's basically a mother to this girl. She's trying to look out for this girl. Lindani knows she this woman husband. And again, I put my endeavor best not to put it on this young girl. Even though, if I'm Mapume, like I'm 32, so I cannot in good faith like criticize a 18, 19-year-old girl that's being preyed on by her friend's 50-year-old early daddy or whatever. I have to see it with the objectivity of like, oh, it's a child, blah, 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 and the way he preyed on her. But if I'm a Pume and you's my friend, my daddy, who you know you are my best friend. You know the trauma and the pain that I've suffered as his child and what's going on in this family. You watch my mother suffer. My mother has been like a mother to you. And you go do that, I would have beat Lindani within an inch of her life. With an inch of her life. Which is why what happens next on is just Joyce Joyce go to the hospital trying to go be there for this little girl, trying to go fill out the paperwork, but the girl hiding the paperwork because she don't want Joyce to go see the paperwork say that the father of the baby is Joyce's husband. So Joyce ended up leaving there. When you look, who pick up from the hospital is Jonas. Jonas so bold and brazen. Joyce and Menzi and Mapume was going to go on a trip. But because Mapume and Joyce are so worried about Lindani, when they heard that Lindani's released from the hospital, they say, you know what? Mapume said, I'm going to go on this trip. I actually want to be home so I could be available should Lindani reach out to me or need my help or my support or anything like that. As they getting ready to go back to their house, thinking, you know what? Let's go back to our house instead of going on a trip. Jonas fix his the gall and the audacity on this motherfucker to take this young girl to his house, Joyce marital home, and go take this little girl, give this little girl in the tub. When Joyce pull up in our house in her bedroom and meet this in there with a child with Joyce, and that's at the point Joyce get her belt and she wailing on niggas. She in there, Joyce beat. Let me tell you, Joyce beat Lindani ass, and she needed that cut ass, and she needed another one. Okay? Look here.
I'm going to throw up.
This nasty. And then from there, not only as this is happening, as big scene and commotion, Joyce losing her mind, they done discover Joyce, but Pume man said they just discover this girl, that her daddy been this little ass girl, big chaos and mayhem. In walks Matipa, because Matipa just come from the doctor where she found out she have gonorrhea because this nigga done give all of them fucking gonorrhea. On top of that, then because Joyce, she come into her house and meet this little girl, you my husband and you in my tub, and she beat their ass. Then the little girl, derelict mommy, comes back with the police and get Joyce locked up. So now Joyce done get locked up twice behind this piece of shit. Then when she come out, she's like, this. I wash my hands. I'm done with this mother. And Matipa finished with him too. The two of them are like, I'm disgusted of all the shit. Ask you this, da-da-da. You was lie, you was a piece of shit. You was treat your children bad. You don't raise the children, you da-da-da. Now you with children, they like, we finished with it. This beat the brakes off Matipa. He beat the brakes off Matipa. It was horrifying. He beat the shit out of Joyce. He beat the shit out of Matipa.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
And let me tell you something. There were consequences. Whether that know it or not, the consequences was grave. Because first, let me tell you what happened. Matipa, from that happened, Matipa say, and I this would made me respect Matipa, even though there is a selfishness to it, to what Matipa does next, but I also respect it. Because on one hand, you just feel like, wow, like Matipa is a gal who truly fought to be with this piece of shit man. Like truly fought to be with a version of him that's horrible. Like Joyce was in the dark. Joyce was lied to. Joyce was deceived. Joyce knew a certain representation of this man. Matipa was actively encouraging his worst parts towards, she just wanted Joyce and them other women to be on the receiving end of it. So you don't fight for this piece of shit man and you got exactly what you fought for up until that physical abuse. The rest of it, like I wasn't feeling sorry for her about the babies, about the anything else or whatever, but the way that man gone and beat the shit out of her. And what I do respect is that Matipa say never a again. And there is a selfishness to Matipa that was always present, but in the fact that so Matipa decides, you know what, I will never know this again. I can't know this man. I have to be done with this, and I will never be able to get free and get away from this man with my children, so I can't take them with me. And so she leaves the children with Joyce without telling Joyce that she leaving them with her. Because at this point, her and Joyce have gone from, they used to be enemies, but by the time they are sister wives and learn about Essie and learn about the thing, they become forged together in trauma, especially after they realize the two of them see each other's bruises and realize, oh, beat on us. So Matipa leaves her with the children to raise and goes away to go start her own life to escape this man. And then Joyce eventually gets Magash. She like basically is like, Magash, what kind of man you want to be? You've been helping this man lie to me for all these years. You started behind this piece of shit man. Because I should mention that Magash is a good guy. Magash is the only one who step in and care about Essie, care about that family, care about Sarah, look out for them. Like he feel for these women. He's be trying. Like that's his brother. And not only is that his brother, so he's been trying to look out for his brother, do all this for his brother, but also like he works for his brother. That's how he makes money. That's how he takes care of himself. That's his livelihood. But also the same way Joyce and all these women want to believe in the good in their brother and that he would one day like appreciate ultimately the sacrifices they've made for him and da-da-da. All he is to is give them his ass to kiss. So he do the same thing. Eventually, Joyce managed to get Magash to like stand up for her and help her throw this man out of the house, at which point he fires Magash. But Magash said, you know what? I felt like a burden was lifted off my shoulder, like I could go live my life. But let me tell you what happened. So then once he get thrown out the house, he go live with Lindani, right? Because Matipa gone, and he don't actually, the way he treat Essie is so bad there, because Essie is be right there hoping this man come back to her, come be with her, come be in the house, always willing to keep like, you know, and he does try, actually, I should acknowledge this, he actually does try to go stay by Essie. He tries to go by Essie house after Joyce throw him out and Matipa done gone on the run. So he goes by Essie. But when he gets to Essie house, he pull up on Essie house without any kind of call or notice or announcement. And he meet Essie there with Essie little ting. Because Essie got a little ting who she's be with, who is make sure she stay right when this in there. And what I love, let me tell you, this is one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. This man go try turn up on Essie like, you here with a man, a whole cheating, trifling piece of shit with all kind of wife who's one who's keep her a secret, who's do her and her daughter bad, who's treat her like she ain't nothing. One come up in her house and have an attitude about the fact that she another and then he go pick up his hand to go hit Essie. Let me tell you, that's my favorite. That man, that little boy, shaky head like, you ain't want to do that, partner. You ain't want to do that, player. And then he try grab that young man neck. That young man had his gun like this. So like he happened with that gun like, hey, he had to go take you ass, tuck his tail between his legs and carry his honey out of there. And that's when he go on and settle to go be with Lindani. But just as you thought she was gonna go settle down with a young woman, let me tell you what he's ass. All of a sudden, this what happens when you wicked and trifling. He with Lindani now. Him and Lindani living together. Lindani go off for work for day. A woman come to his door. This is why I said knew a man was ass. Eh? Light-skinned gal with a fat ass and big titties show up at the door. Like, oh, can I use the bathroom? Then start trying to seduce him and trying to him. So that ain't suspicious to you? You think it's just be random pussy? You think bitches should just pop up at the door? Like, oh.
I was just in the neighborhood and I was wondering if there was any wanted some free pussy. You want it?
But of course he got a any and every motherfucker. He of course goes and that woman who is very suspiciously offering him pussy on the door. When you next look, he coughing. And Donnie trying to figure out why you coughing. He's like, get a pass, man. And Donnie say, man, I ain't think so. You've been coughing for quite some time. Lord, he gone right to the damn doctor. Doctor say, boy, you got HIV. Let me tell you something. They give this man, from this movie, they gave this the Tyler Perry, which one that is, where he's get a girl AIDS in Vengeance and in Acrimonious. Temptation. I had to Google that. Temptation. They give Jonasi the Tyler Perry Temptation and Diary of a Mad Black Woman treatment because he got that HIV and then they flash forward 8 years. This asshole ain't want to take his medicine. He decided, he ain't want no Western medicine, so he taking herbs and all this bullshit, and he dying. Sick as a dog. And not only is he sick as a dog, Lindani treating him like a fucking dog. She treating him like shit. Like shit. And I love that for him. That's what you fucking get. You want to cheat on your wife. You treat wife. You want to treat on your wives. You want to treat them like shit. You want to be a dog. You think you somebody. It was killing me, man. This bad shape. He womanly curves soon as they take off these fucking suits. But you want around there thinking this young, beautiful girl really wants you. That's what the you thought was to take care of you after you give your wife for 20 years, yeah. Ass to kiss. Your multiple wives in 20 years. Shit. Your ass to kiss. You thought this young girl was gonna look out for you? She treat him like a dog. As he in that house dying feeble, he can't even walk and get up. She have him in the back room where he can't move, shitting on himself, and she young boys in the front of the house. Lord, Lindani dog whooped that, yo. And then when she finished, and the only reason she even keeping him there, treating him bad, is because she done trick his stupid ass into signing everything in his will over to her. So then when you look, she figure, you know what? I tired of taking care of this man. I hate this nigga. I don't have the stuff in the will. And she dropped the nigga off to Joyce. I was like, hey, you take care of him. First of all, Joyce and that man, I was tossing him out this fucking wheelchair. Like she on Diary of a Mad Black Woman. She was getting her lick back. And then just as you started to like think, no man, everybody like you see Mapume finally come back. Mapume, we ain't talk about much of the children in detail in this video, but I want y'all to know right now, I love Mapume. Mapume and Menzi and Freedom. Them's my babies, yeah? Because Freedom was the voice of reason. He was the voice of reason in his house with Essie and Sarah trying to make Essie understand. You ain't doing right by your children. You did wrong by your children. You so love a man. You care about this man and money more, and particularly money more than anything, that you let this man abuse your children. You let this man treat me like a dog. You let this man treat Sarah like a dog, and all you do is fall yourself in deep into the bottle. You cause me have a drinking problem, and now you're trying to put Sarah down the same path. I love Freedom. That's my Mapume. The whole show was trying to make her mommy understand, and everybody understand is a piece of shit. Give up on this man. Stop running behind this man. And every time she open her mouth, she getting bogged down by her piece of shit daddy, and her mind won't hear it. But Mapume was nothing but sense. So I did not blame my girl Mapume when after she done have to deal with all her daddy shit, all this different stuff. And now one of her friends done grind her other friend done grind her daddy. Mapume gone to college and then look back to the last 2 episodes of the show when she read her daddy dying. And then my boy Menzi, when the daddy at the home dying, he now dying from HIV. Menzi all of a sudden in his face like, oh, you know, I finally realized that you was just trying to make a man out of me and make me strong and all this stuff. And I over here like, what? What you talking about, Menzi? Like scared, like, man, I hope they ain't make a horrible out of my boy Menzi, man. I don't tell me the toxic masculinity has prevailed. Ah, Lord. And then when you look, Mapume was trying to get, everybody was trying to get an apology of this man. Like, are you gonna recognize you were wrong? Are you gonna take any accountability? Are you gonna say sorry? Man wouldn't do it. Mapume asked him like, Dad, you've never said like sorry. You've never said to me like, that daughter, I'm sorry. And he was like, I'm your father. Don't fucking disrespect me. This dying from HIV, dying, about to died. And he's still interpreting his daughter simply trying to tell him about her feelings as disrespect. Oh, look, yo, as somebody with an African daddy who has wasted their own breath many a time in life trying to make him understand your feelings, I didn't understand. But anyway, everybody, Sarah trying to get an apology. Everybody trying to get an apology. He won't give it to nobody. Magashi won't give it to Magashi. Won't give it to nobody. No kind of accountability to be taken at all. Till finally you see, like, on his deathbed, he called Joyce into the bed and he tell Joyce sorry for everything he ever did to her. Like, he wanted to know he's sorry. And when you next look, he finally dropped dead. And if you think you're finished, you ain't, because Joyce wouldn't let Essie see him in his final days. And I understand from Joyce's perspective, like, you lying bitch. You spent 25 years lying to me. You was this man white pretending to be my sister-in-law and all this shit, girl, you. And I understand. I do understand. Like, if a bitch pretending to be my sister-in-law, but really she is my husband next wife, she my husband, she lying to me, and she having animosity to me and giving me bad advice and being malicious and wicked towards me, I wouldn't give a about her feelings neither. But I still felt bad for her, like, just because I felt like Essie got the shortest hand of the stick when it came to all of the women in general. And so it was sad that she didn't even get to see him in his final days. But because she didn't get to see him in his final days, she gone to the funeral home and gone and claimed the body. She gone and claimed the body to go have a funeral of her own. And she taught, because Joyce show up there mad as mad could be with the police and take that man out the grave, which I find. So when you find out what really happened, it's like, Joyce, you done finished with this man. You done hate this. My Joyce was like, I done had to share my husband in life. I'll be damned if I share him in death. And I'm just like, Lord, Joyce.
That's cold.
Joyce, this woman was with him. In fairness, I understand you didn't know it, but this woman was with this man before you even know him. She have a child for him too. He wasn't shit. You done in with him. You ain't been with him for 8 years. You done hate him. He was horrible to you. If this ass named Essie still won't love him and won't tell him bye, let her tell him bye. Let her bury him. Why you being like that? But she was in fact being like that. So she carry on bad. She tell the police, take the casket out the ground. She scream. She said, I got my own wedding. You can't. She said, I got my own funeral. Don't come from around there. Blah, 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 blah. She turned right out. Then at the funeral, we finally reveal lots of things happen, but just know this. First of all, let me just say, I loved the funeral. I loved the poeticness of Matipa finally coming back, feeling safe to come back now that this dead. She could come back to her life and get her children who don't recognize her, but at least, just like she trusted that Joyce would look out for them, she did, and now she's back and Joyce embraces her. And even though I hated the fact that Sarah and Essie had to go claim a spot for themselves, like I love the fact that Essie showed up regardless. Like, y'all ain't gonna tell us I can't come bury and mourn my own husband, and Sarah can't come and this her daddy. So they come and they pull up chairs for themselves where it should have been. And like I say, Joyce wrong for that, because you want to embrace Matipa and you want to, embrace Matipa cheering, but you still being like this towards Essie and the child. And I understand that Essie and Sarah have done like a deeper level of betrayal. Like, she know them longer. They was lying to her. It's different levels to it. I understand, but it's still like, damn, stop treating them like that. You know what I mean? Stop treating them. It becomes nastiness, man. Joyce is my bitch though, but she wrong for that. But I appreciate that Essie came and she pulled up on one chair and Joyce at least ain't pull no seeing and just allowed it to happen. And Mapume, at least, because like I say, in Mapume we trust, despite the fact that Mapume do not with Sarah, and she ain't gonna never with Sarah, and she let Sarah know, you could apologize all you want, as many years come by, whatever, you ain't shit, and I would have never done the shit you did. You was a bitch, you need to come from around me. And valid, because it doesn't matter why she's like that. Sarah's a gal she could never trust. And I don't care how sorry Sarah appeared to be, how much crying she do. At the end of the day, she just like her mommy, and she resentful. Because even as she was trying to apologize to Mapume after all these years, since she do what she did to Mapume, when Mapume don't immediately accept her apology, she's go back to screaming at Mapume like, oh, you high and mighty, you think you better than everybody, da, 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 da. And all these things that are just projections. Mapume didn't do nothing to nobody the entire show. Okay? She didn't do nothing. But Sarah's still taking out shit. So I don't blame Mapume. You ain't a gal I could ever be cool with. But you still is my daddy's child. So I appreciate it when Mapume got up. She called for all her siblings to come stand up there with her. And she called for Sarah to stand up there too, and that was what was right. And then we learned from Joyce say, you think we see the flashback of his final moments on his deathbed when he gonna go tell Joyce, he was sorry. When he tell Joyce he's sorry, Joyce say, are you at HIV? He's like, huh? She say, you that. She say, that woman that come to your door to you, I sent her. And then you see the flashback when Joyce did get, that I told y'all I would come back to, when Joyce first got arrested behind him off that fire in the house, there was a woman in the jail with Joyce who was talking about how she was in there because she retaliated on a man she'd been dating who went and gave her HIV. So she assaulted him and she was screaming. She was like, oh, he deserved that for her to attack him for doing that to her because he does. As she tell Joyce that, boy, look here. Joyce say when that man beat her, she said, you beat me and then you raped me and you thought there wasn't gonna be consequences? He beat and he raped Joyce and Matipa. Matipa said, I ain't gonna give you the chance to do that shit again. Matipa gone and she leave and Joyce plot and she send that gal to the door to get that HIV. And she's the reason why it looked like, oh, Manti all of a sudden like, oh, you was just trying to make me into a man and all that. Manti was just playing this a fiddle so that could change the will back from out of Lindani name and into his so that they get things. I say checkmate. Although again, I say again to what I say earlier, my problem is how Joyce is a gal who that man was doing all kind of shit to your children. No retaliation. But once he beat you, he was beating on your children. He was beating on your children. But no problem. But once he beat on you, now you will give him HIV. That's really my problem, is how these women were putting their feelings, their interests way, 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 way above their children. When I tell y'all that was perfect TV. Excellent TV. And it ends with, you see the flashback of him telling, Joyce telling him, you was a stupid ass for letting Manti play you. No child of mine would ever grow up to be like you. And as she's seeing that, you see the flash of Menzi now in the bathroom Donnie, like at the funeral. But I just want to say this. I do not take that as proof that he just like his daddy now. Like, oh, I don't take that as Joyce being wrong about thinking that her son ain't like the daddy because, oh, he fucking Lindani. I just take that as him taking the opportunity. Lindani, him playing Lindani the same way he played the daddy. Because he played the daddy dumbass, and Lindani ass don't give a about Jonas. But she at the funeral, she started wailing and carrying on to get taken out of the funeral so that when she run into Menzi, she could act like, oh, she's so caring. All she wants is money. All she looking for is a check. Like, oh, he is the new Mr. Gamora. She just want the power now. And Menzi know that. Menzi did like this gal from time. He been wanted to fuck her. So he say, I could take the chance to get my fucking lick back and fuck this girl in the bathroom. That's all I take that as. I don't take that as proof that Menzi could be just like his daddy and get played like a fiddle. No, I don't think so. But all in all, flawless television, yo. Y'all gotta watch The Polygamist. And if you watched it already, give me all your thoughts in the comments because I loved it. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, congratulations! You've officially wandered into the Illuminati-verse. Now, before you get overwhelmed, let me explain where exactly you've landed, because apparently one YouTube channel was not enough for me. If you're looking for my biggest productions, the kinds of videos that require me to disappear into a cave for 6 weeks and emerge with an existential crisis, subscribe to Illuminati, my flagship channel, where you'll find my magnum opuses like If Pretty is a Privilege, Ugly is a Curse, How This Didn't Age Well Destroyed Media Literacy, How Men Become Aziz Ansari, Why Serial Killers Aren't Monsters, and so much more. If you're here because you love television, movies, and hearing me explain why everybody misunderstood your favorite character, subscribe to Illuminati Pop, my TV and film essay channel. That's where you'll find fun deep dives on How I Met Your Mother, Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives, You, Euphoria, Insecure, Girlfriends, and more. And if you'd like to watch my videos uncensored, get early access, and support the channel directly, just join the Illuminati Pop Patreon. If you are looking for chaos and a good time, subscribe to Olay and Chill, where I unpack reality TV, TikTok drama, documentaries, chaos in internet, and whatever nonsense the internet has cooked up this week. If you'd like to watch me and some of my favorite Black creators and thinkers come together to discuss the culture, subscribe to Olay and Friends. If you're looking for shorter commentary on whatever the internet is currently spiraling about or whatever's on my mind, subscribe to Illuminati Bites. If you want to watch me and my bitch Kenny JD laugh, overshare, talk a little shit, and unpack the messiness of life, love, and the internet, and whatever foolishness we watching, subscribe to Olay and Kenny. If politics is more your thing and where you know me from, subscribe to Illuminati Politics for my State of the Union like addresses on O Squared. And if music is your thing and you want to hear what I think about the latest albums and what I'm getting into, subscribe to Illuminati Extras. Subscribe to whichever corners of the Illuminati-verse speak to you, or subscribe to all of them and become a full-time resident. And while you're at it, you can follow me everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Twitter at Illuminati. You can also follow Illuminati Pop and Olay and Chill and Olay and Friends on social media so you never miss a thing. Welcome again to the Illuminati-verse. Now go look around a little bit. Make yourself at home.